this episode of Healing with the Tarot. My name is Amy, and this is a message from your spirit guides. So what do I do now? Before you are three cards. We have Release, Forgiveness, and Abundance. Please take a moment to look at the cards, use your intuition to feel which one you're most drawn to, and then go to the tarot card reading playlist on Healing with the Tarot and select the title that relates to your card and play the reading. If you need longer to select your card, then please do pause the video here. Without further ado, let's get on with your reading. Hello, card number 3s, and welcome to your reading today. You picked Abundance. Beautiful card of a summer meadow, filled with the abundance of wild flowers. Let's see what the cards have to say today. Well, I think firstly we'll have another look at abundance. I mean, abundance is in its own right quite self-explanatory as to the meaning behind the card. It's having a lot of everything, an abundance of something, abundance of wealth, abundance of happiness, abundance of pizza. You could be anything. Anyway, if you're thinking, wow, that was a long pause, Amy, just to come up with the word pizza, forgive me. I'm just trying to put into context. The abundance comes in many forms, and pizza is one of them. Oh my goodness me. This is how this reading's going to go today. Okay. Anyway, let's have a look at the context behind abundance. We start with the situation card, the 5 of Cups in reverse. So whilst the possibility is out there for abundance, your focus is not on your abundance. You're focusing on what you lack. Let me just get to the 5 of Cups. Here we go. Not letting go of past trauma, crying over spilled milk, rooting deeply into shadow work without healing and letting go, old stories that become part of you, callousness and becoming jaded. Well, considering that we're putting this into context of this reading today, I feel as though this card, the 5 of Cups, is talking about you focusing on what you have lost in the past, through your past traumas, your lack-minded centered consciousness. So rather than seeing the possibilities that are out there and focusing on what abundance you do have, and I say to people, even when it feels like you don't have anything, if you were to change the lens through which you see your life, you would see that there is an abundance of certain things that you can be grateful for. And so it becomes about changing your attitude around gratitude. So the attitude of gratitude is taking hold of your mind's eye, because the mind, the ego, will look at what you lack because it goes into survival mode. So you will start focusing on the things that are going terribly wrong, because you have to pay the rent, that you have to pay the bills, you have to do this, you have to do that, you need money for this, you need money for that. Survival, lack-minded consciousness. Do you see about the roundabout that you put yourself upon? It's like you go on a merry-go-round in the lack mind, because what you're lacking and what you see, what this society has done and what this system has been set up to do is to keep you in an endless cycle of perpetual lack. And as creator beings, we can create our own abundance, because it is our vibration that changes the situation. Can you say that with me through the TV? Ready? Our vibration changes the situation. It becomes about us changing our mindset that brings about the change in our luck and the change in our circumstances, because what we believe, we perceive. What we practice on the inside is seen on the outside world because we are the creator of our experience. There is only you here creating and experiencing this experience. So therefore, you are the one in the driving seat of that experience. And you can change from a lack-centered consciousness into an abundant one by focusing on the abundance that you have. It is not saying, oh, I have an abundance of money when I don't. Okay? It's about the abundance of things that you do have. And compared to some people, if you were to put yourself up against somebody living in a tin shack in a third world country who had no food, very little in the way of warmth or shelter or money, and you put yourself in comparison, suddenly abundance abounds with you. Your housing is better. You're financially more sound than those people. Suddenly what you see as lack when you put yourselves up against, say, the higher echelons of class, not that we really have class, the only reason class exists is because we allow it to through our belief that it can be allowed to exist. Okay? So once we start to break down these barriers of beliefs, and they are false beliefs about lack, false beliefs about lack of power, once you start to change yourself into knowing that you are the one in the driving seat, suddenly abundance starts to be everywhere. And you become grateful for what you do have, and you stop focusing on what you don't have. And then the energy shifts and changes. I believe that I'm supposed to have this pile today. For sure. I'm going through a period of challenge with this particular issue. Why? I'm going through complete switchover from being completely on benefits and sick to clawing back health, informing the benefits agency, and in so doing have signed up to do this as a job. But in doing that, I have now obviously changed my benefits. So I'm looking at less benefits. I'm not earning any money yet really from my business full time or part time. Like in the last month, I earned £0 towards my outgoings of running this business. It runs on faith. You have to have faith. And yeah, I've had many meltdowns, but I'm learning that abundance comes in many forms. And I am not serving myself by focusing on what I do not have. It is about focusing on what I do. I have the skills of being a tarot reader, a psychic medium. I have marketable skills, usable skills. And I am pursuing my pathway and I'm on my journey. And it will open up. And the tides will change, but it won't change if all I do is sit and be miserable and focus on what I'm not getting at the moment. Speaking of which, if I could ask if you're watching this to please leave me a thumbs up now on the video. Every like I get helps my channel to grow. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. It's free to do. I upload as often as I can, usually on a Monday or Thursday. And we always have different subjects that we cover. So I hope that I can welcome you to my community and we can expand this world together. I always say that everybody who helps and supports me is part of my journey and part of my success. And I thank you for being here with me today. Back to your reading. So you can see what I'm saying about lack-minded consciousness. So that's your situation. And look, here's the obstacle, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And, that is literally just re-instigating, it's financial stress. It's being self-absorbed, smothering others, helicopter parenting, overindulging, work-home imbalances, and materialism. But, you could have any of those things going on here. And it still is surrounding the same issues about lack consciousness. Whatever this is that is pervading in your life is to do with lack consciousness that is blocking your path to abundance. Abundance in love, abundance in wealth, abundance in health. Your mind, and I've been saying this to people, And the more I grow as a soul, and the more I understand, and the more I develop on my pathway, I am understanding the true power of consciousness and of your mind, and how it does shape the world around you, and it shapes you, how you react to things, how you perceive things, what you believe you perceive. So therefore it colors your whole world just by how you think about things. And that's why people who have a positive mindset have more positive outcomes and a more positive life and are happier and healthier and live longer, because they focus on the positives and they don't dwell in the negative realm. They turn their frown upside down. Even when bad things are happening, you can always find a way through. Because God gave you intelligence, wisdom, experience, resourcefulness. Action being taken, or recommended action. Now, when I saw this card come out, I thought, that's a very strange message to give for the recommended action. But it actually does make sense. Because, you know, it's about the lack of self-discipline, going in the wrong direction, a tendency to speed past the needs of others and self. So, you know, the recommended action here is to be wary of that, to be aware of what it is that you are doing. What is it that I keep repeating? My lack of energetic focus, my lack of self-discipline that's causing issues in my life to do with my mental clarity, my mental focus, what I'm allowing my anxieties to sweep me off in a direction of negativity and, you know, hysteria. And I'm not going to be able to solve anything from that place, nor am I going to be able to see what I do have and how I can actually bring about change, because I'm getting swept away by my mind, by my fears, by my anxiety. And it is about seeing abundance all around you that comes in many forms, and it will change the energy, and things in your life will shift once you shift this blockage, because it is a block. Lack-minded consciousness is a block that we suffer in this life because of the system that programmed us to believe in it, programmed us to focus on it, and is doing its damnedest every day with increasing prices and increasing wealth disparity to enforce that consciousness, to remove the power of the creators so that we can no longer have any will left to fight them, to fight what they are doing when it comes to programming our minds. We have to be better than them. We have to be stronger than them, and we have to take back our power through deprogramming this very idea that we are poor, that we lack in any way, shape, or form in our lives, whether that be in love, whether that be in career, whether that be in money, whether that be in health. We are healers of ourselves, and we heal through healing our post-trauma and pain, because energetically what is done to the energy body manifests in the physical, and in order to reclaim health, we must undo the damage that was done to us on our journey through this life. A lot of people disagree with my analogy, but it worked for me on a level that I had never thought possible. And so I always recommend it as an avenue to try. I'm not saying it's the cure-all for everything, but it is a pathway, if you have illness, that you can explore. Explore your past pain and traumas. Do the shadow work. Heal the lack consciousness that you have in that area of your life that that trauma left you with. Give back to yourself in love. Give back to yourself in healing. Give back to yourself in respect and positivity, and shift the vibrational energy, because that is reclaiming your abundance. And it's tapping in to source energy that we all have within us, because we're all connected to source. Who is source? God, Allah, Abba. God has many names. the I am. And the I am is in you. And so therefore, by claiming your I am presence, by claiming your sovereignty as a divine being of the One, you claim back your ability to manifest abundance in all areas of your life through your shadow work and healing, through claiming back your power and realizing that God is within you, the kingdom is within you. So all things become possible, not impossible. It's flipping the script. It's changing the narrative. That is what your guides wanted me to talk about today. And when the message came out, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so clear. Because like the outcome is love. You see, it's a new relationship with yourself. It's a new relationship with Source. It's re-establishing your connection to Source power, to the bank of God. Do you know that God has a bank that none of us can tap into because we don't actually have the belief that it's there for us? And that in order to access it, you just have to already know that it's yours. It's a very difficult thing to have to manifest within you, to actually get to a place of that level of certainty. It's a pathway and a journey, but it is possible. And we're all walking it. And I'm trying to do the same thing as you today, which is why I said I really feel and relate to the reading and the teachings and the exploration of them with you today as I hold this card. Because it is about handing you back your power, your sovereignty, your godlight that sits in the heart. Your heart, the center of your soul, resides in your heart. And so does the flame of the Almighty. That is why your body is called a temple, okay? That is why you should treat your body like a temple, because it houses the holy, it houses the divine, it houses you. So the next time you go and look in the mirror, spend a moment staring into your eyes and seeing beyond the surface level of your own soul, and reach into that mirror through your eyes, and you will see a bigger consciousness looking back. Ask yourself in the mirror, who am I? Keep repeating that process. It can take up to a month, but you will receive the answer. And when you do, your life will change forever. Now, also in the outcome is the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. And you think, Amy, but the Ten of Pentacles reverse is the antithesis of wealth. It's not abundance, it's being not abundant. It's the opposite. It's financial loss, but it's negativity around wealth, okay? And what Spirit's saying is, if you truly want change, you have to change the script, flip the script, because it's saying this is the end of the cycle. See, tens are the end of the cycle. So in order for you to change, you have to let go of these narratives. This is in the outcome. It's letting go in chasing luxury and status. It's letting go of fixating on financial loss. And it's letting go of the negative energy you have around wealth. I, as a spiritual being, had terrible... I'm a Lyran, so I'm a Lyran starseed, and we notoriously don't like money. Funny thing that, really. But we resent it for what it represents. But in doing that, what I was doing was distancing myself from ever having enough of it, because I was saying to the universe, I don't like money, keep it away from me. I don't like money, I don't want any. When you resent wealth, you resent having any, which means you don't get any, because that universe just reads energy and goes, oh, you don't like money? Okay, well, we'll keep money away from you. So it's about seeing money not as a tool of the elite to persecute the poor, but rather changing it into a neutral tool. Because even as spiritual beings, we need wealth to make differences in this environment, because it is a world of money. So therefore, even the spiritual need to really focus on having wealth, and being worthy of the wealth, and really valuing themselves enough to price themselves at the right price for what they give to society, and know that it is not egoic, know that it is not lacking humility to do that, and know that it's okay to have money. All right? So that's for those of you who spiritually are struggling with that side of things. For the other people who are struggling with lack-minded consciousness to do with all areas of their life, it is about letting this go, and it's about embracing the new cycle where we focus on heart-centered consciousness. We change the narratives, we flip the script, as I have said in this reading, and I really do think that you are going to need to listen to this more than once in order to fully understand the concept and to also start the process of deprogramming your mind. There are also videos by Dr. Joe Dispenza where you can do nighttime sleeps, where you listen to pre-recorded messages that help with your subconscious deprogramming. I do them. I've only managed to do a few. And the only reason I stopped at the moment is because the light from the TV and the noise was actually waking me up instead of helping me. So I had to take a break from doing it. But we all need to deprogram ourselves in order to make way for new creations. You cannot create new if you're still creating the old. If you're still stuck in old programming and old creations, how can the new creations that you have to build come in? You don't believe in them. You don't perceive them. You believe there is no hope. You believe there is no future. Well, guess what? There's no hope. There's no future. There's no new. Because it is up to you to change. Nobody else. It's not up to people to come and save you. We have to drop the victimhood and realize that we are our own saviors. We are our own creators. And we are here to create a better world. And we can only do that when we're prepared to let go of the old one in every sense of the word, including our past traumas and pain that are holding us back on our pathway. Which is why I always recommend shadow work, why it is so important that you do receive the proper care, treatment and healing, because you are worthy of all the love in the world. You are worthy of all the wealth in the world. You are worthy of all the happiness in the world. And you're not here to suffer. You're not here to be sacrificed on the altar of some capitalist's ideal. Okay? So you think about what I'm saying today, and I hope that some of this resonates within your hearts and that you choose to make some form of change. And if I can in any way help you on that pathway, then I have done my work here today for you. And it is about cycles of growth, natural law, and divine order. Everything happens in divine timing. So if you start this process off and nothing happens straight away, do not give up, okay? I know how slow things can actually take to manifest. It can be painfully slow and painfully frustrating when things aren't changing when you have, okay? But that doesn't mean that behind the scenes things have not already shifted. It's just that you don't see it in the world around you yet. So it's about keeping the faith. It's about keeping going. It's about knowing that you've changed. And if you've changed, then your world is going to. It's not going to stay the same because you're not the same. So embrace the cycles of growth, embrace the natural law, and embrace the divine order. I just need to go and get myself a drink. I shall be back in a moment. Hello, I'm back again. Sorry about that. Just needed to get myself a drink of water. I'm so thirsty. Whenever I'm channeling now, I need lots of extra water. Right. So we've covered cycles of growth, natural law, and divine order. But also, Spirit saying, resurrection, you're the phoenix. You will rise from the ashes of your own past shadows. You know, when you let go of an old narrative and let go of an old, well, the old you, the new you rises from the ashes like the phoenix. You're being asked to surrender to change, because in order to have true abundance and true change in your life, you have to be the one making it. So surrender to the change. Don't fight against it. Lean into it. Work with it. Grow with it. Mold it to a positive story for yourself. Be the change you wish to see in your own story, in your own narrative. And have you asked for help? Have you asked your angels for help with this particular problem today? Your angels want to help you with this situation. However, they require your permission before they can intervene, because they're your free will choices. So many people have angels. Well, we all have angels, but many people don't use them, right? And there's a joke in heaven that there's lots of unemployed angels standing around just waiting for God's children to actually ask for their help. I now actually work with my angels, and I they're wonderful, and they do help me. And I wouldn't be without them. Okay, so I recommend that you get to know your angels, you work with them, pray to them, and know that it's done. Don't question how it's going to happen. Don't try and make a narrative up in your mind how the angel's going to do that for you, because that puts a roadblock on it happening. They will do it how they need to do it for your best and highest good. And if for some reason it doesn't transpire, it's because it wasn't in your highest good. Okay? But you can ask them for help with anything, even finding a parking space. I know. It's like you ask angels for that, but it's true. They can help you find lost things. They can help you, with parking spaces. The list is endless. Obviously, they will not do anything against to harm anybody or to do something that is against the best interest of another person, because divine free will reigns supreme, and they have rules and laws that they must follow, and so must we honor them. So if you honor the spiritual law of free will, and that only the highest good of you and the all be done, you will always receive a response. Okay? Past life issue. It could be that some of you who are watching this have hang-ups from a past life that you've brought into this life to resolve, that are now playing out in this life, to do with abundance issues. Maybe you had poverty in the last life and you haven't quite shifted that consciousness and brought it into this life with you. So what it's about doing is acknowledging that this could be a past life issue. I'm a past life regression. Well, I say I'm a past life regressionist. I've just qualified. I still have 50 hours to do yet before I can say I'm a past life regressionist. But I've taken the course, and I know that past life issues exist. I've have them. I've been through them, and I can say to you that it might be worth you going and finding a qualified, fully operational past life regressionist and hypnotherapist who can actually take you back to your past lives, and you can work through the issues so that it releases you in this life from actually repeating the history. It really does help. It really does work. I will tell you about what happened to me. I was terrified of drowning, absolutely petrified of deep water. And when I went to see the film with Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio, the Titanic, I had a major panic attack. And when I was a kid, I used to dream that I was in this sea of black, and I could see all these faces frozen in fear, and they were just drowning in the depths, and I would wake up gasping for air. I went to see a past life regression therapist. He was training, and he took me through the process. I was on the Titanic, and I did drown. When I actually went through my death process and I actually realized that it was my past life, when I came back into conscious realm now in my life here, I no longer carried the fear of deep water, and I have no fear of drowning anymore. Yeah, gone. I can get in the sea, I can swim, I don't feel fear, I don't get panic attacks getting on a boat. It was like a change just happened like that. It was amazing, and that's it. Like past life regression, I've read most of the books now, and I really believe in it as a modality for healing. God, turning into Sylvester Stallone. So yeah, it's a really good way of ironing out any past life issues. If you've got something you can't put your finger on and have no reason for it in this life as to why you feel the way you do, seek out a past life regression therapist to help you, especially if it's surrounding bad luck and black. Yeah. Because it could be that it's a past life issue that you've brought into this life with you that needs resolution, and it can be part of your healing process to seek out the counselling. You might need to save up for it, because I noticed some of them are quite expensive, like £150 a session, and it can take more than one session to actually get to the root of things. So you may want to save up for a little while before going to see one, but it really is worth the investment. Another thing that Spirit has said the angels have said that you can start doing is a God box. Write any worries, concerns, or desires on a paper that you put into a special container called a God box, as a way of letting it go and allowing the divine to help you. So that's another way of moving and changing the narratives, because you are actually notifying the universe, you're notifying source and allowing the divine to intercede on your behalf through written request. Just know when you put it in the box, they have heard you and it is done. Oh my gosh, now Spirit's saying you have the ability to affect your own destiny. What have we just been talking? I don't think that card needs any more explanation considering what we've just been talking about. And your life plan is unfolding as it should. Like, you even being here today listening to this message is part of your life plan. You were guided here for the purpose of your spirit guides getting this message to you today, because it fits in with your alignment in order to hear and receive what it is that is being said. So it is about support. Know you are comforted and held, and that those invisible bonds are real. So they're saying, and I love the way that support is actually covering your angels here. It's saying, have you asked for help with this? You've got support. It's invisible, but the bonds between you and your angels, between you and God, between you and the divine are real, and they are with you and supporting you every step of your life plan, every moment on your journey. You are being held, loved, and supported by the divine, including this message today, my darlings, that comes to you with so much love. They're asking you to rest. Take the opportunity and time to drop out of life, resting your weary rings, to recharge and zone out. Because I think, you've got so overwrought with the worries and the stresses that has brought you to this reading today. It is about self-care as much as it is everyone else care. Yeah? Take the time to really look after your health, because without that, you cannot do anything to change your life and your narrative. And if you are in poor health, well, your body's telling you that you need to take the time to rest. You need to take the time to heal. And you're being guided on the path how you can actually start to change and move that energy and focus in order to be at your most potent energetic state, and also to help yourself change the narrative, to help change your life for the better. This is just one stepping stone on a long journey that you're taking in this lifetime. And they're asking you to please do not resist the path laid for you, because everything has a purpose, even the difficulty that you've been through. So resistance actually holds you back and blocks you, but by shifting into the divine flow and accepting that all things have a purpose, we change the narrative, we change the flow, because we stop fighting against what's happening and move with it, move through it, and we find ways of working with it, and really examining things from all sides to get the point of the lesson, rather than just judging the lesson and not getting the point. You are surrounded by love. Enter the essence of true life, which is love. So, you are being reminded today that by the angels, by your guides, by spirit, that you are truly loved and surrounded with it, and you are it. And you're going to find that within yourself and start operating from that center of love, which is true forgiveness, true abundance, true empathy, true compassion, true purpose, true joy. You are in the right place at the right time. Release the essence of your truth. So again, You're being told that you're in the right place at the right time, that you have the ability to affect your destiny, that do not resist the path that's been laid before you. Take the opportunity to rest. Know that you're supported by the divine. Know that surrendering to change allows you to go through that change and to actually start adapting, and like a chameleon does, to its surroundings. You change along with it, but you change how you wish to change. It's about what you believe, you perceive. So if you want to perceive it from another positive angle and light, you will change the whole energy of that happenstance. Because there are always two sides to every story, two narratives, one negative and another positive, and you can choose which way you wish to interpret what is happening in your life. Because often we've seen something as bad that's happened to us, and then later down the road when we look back on it, we go, cool, that was actually really good that happened, because if that hadn't happened, then I wouldn't have had this happen to me, or this happened to me, or be the person I am today. So I'm really glad that shitty thing happened now, because without it I wouldn't be here right now in this space doing what I'm doing. So it's about realizing that even when it seems shit, most of the time it's actually not. It's actually because it has to happen for something better to come along. It has to happen for things within us to be triggered for change. And from that shitty thing, something amazing and brilliant comes out of it. And I mean, you can have some proper shitty things happen to you, but it's how you react to it and what you take from it and how you build yourself back from it that really makes the difference between a crap life and a positive life. And so it's about level of consciousness. Communicate universal guidance through the eye. So it's basically about your third eye. Use your intuition, okay? I feel like you are going to be leveling up with your intuitive state. And so start leaning into those feelings, those intuitive, like, tells that you get, and you start seeing patterns around you and synchronicities. Lean into that, because you're starting to see the behind the curtain, and you're starting to be guided by your guides toward the right things. Because when you're on the right path, you start to see more signs, synchronicities and happenings, and you get more gut feelings, and you just seem to know that's the right thing to do. No, that's not the right thing to do. You know, you lean into your gut and what feels right to you. Use your intuitive feeling and knowing. It is one of your divine tools as a creator being of the one. We all have it. Some are just more in tune to it than others, and it's about practicing using that gift that brings it into being more, because it's by your focus as a creator being, you bring something from the ethereal realm into the realm of what you perceive on the outside. So it comes from the inside out. So if you want to become a better psychic, if you want to become a better medium, if you want to become a better anything, it first starts within, and then it materializes into the out. And you focus on it with laser focus. You actually push forward, and that is what your focus is. I'm focusing on becoming more intuitive. I'm focusing on becoming more awake and aware. I'm focusing on my abundance. I'm not going to focus on negativity. I'm laser focused on the things that I want in my life, to the exclusion of all other negative things. And when other people are negative to you, just smile and nod and go, well, I did think of that, yes. So that they feel recognized, but that doesn't mean that you have to then be pulled to their way of thinking and start going back in the opposite direction. It doesn't mean that they're right. It just means that they're trapped in the old way of thinking and you're the one that's changed. Love and reflection. See beyond life, beyond physical love. So see the life beyond the physical. As I was saying, focus. Focus, and I would say, change your perceptions. Start to open up to different possibilities. I know it's difficult for some people to change, and some people go, well, I can't change, it's just impossible, because that's not who I am, that's not how I am. The only reason you're who you are and you're how you are is because you've accepted that those parameters are you. That's what life programmed you to be from a very young age. You got to know you through everything that happened to you, did you not? So what's to stop you from changing? Absolutely nothing. You're only the sum of your parts, because those are the parts that you've got to explore. open up to exploring other parts and other pathways, that just because life has not shown you that path yet doesn't mean you can't carve it for yourself or open up the door and see where it leads. Know your inner soul. See the light within your soul. That you can do by looking in the mirror. As I said to you earlier, I think you need to start maybe seeing deeper into yourself than you've been allowing yourself to see. Don't be afraid of where that will lead you, because it will lead you to rediscovering the true self that was hidden under all that programming. The you that is eternal, the you that is incorruptible, the you that is pure love, the you that is wisdom, the you that is enlightenment, the you that you've always been, perfect in God's eyes. And it's time to see yourself as perfect again by looking through God's eyes, and that is by looking through your own in a softer, loving lens. Right, I've got some messages from the archangels for you. They had a few, so we might be here for a minute. All right, my darlings, we're nearly done. So, firstly, you know I was talking about the abundance and attachment to lack consciousness, being attached to materialism, being attached to success, and and the expectations that society has programmed us to be. Well, the first message, surprise, surprise, from the archangels is detachment. So according to spiritual law, you can have anything your heart desires. However, if your happiness, sense of security, or feeling of power depends on someone or something in your life, then you are attached to that person or thing, and it is a chain which binds you to a lower frequency and keeps you stuck, which is what I have been talking about today, my darlings. Your guidance is to ask your angels to help you to cut the cords that tie you to people, things, and emotions. When all attachments are released, you can no longer be manipulated emotionally. This enables you to reclaim your power and be genuine. Free your spirit and that of others. Let go now. I release everyone and everything. My spirit is free. I really do love these messages. Let me just pop these up here out the way a minute. Right, we'll put detachment there. Next message, acceptance. Oh, I love these messages. Acceptance means unconditional love. The angels remind you to accept everyone exactly as they are without judging, blaming, or wanting to change them. Do you accept yourself without judging, blaming, or wanting to change you? Do you actually see your shadow and love it? Or do you resent your shadow self? Are you still at war with the demons in your own mind? Because if you are still attached to lack consciousness, the need for control, you are shutting down and blocking the divine flow that would release your abundance to you, that is to come to you in this lifetime. And so accepting things as they are, other people, stops you from judgment. It also stops you from judgment in your own life. Because if you start judging the lesson, what was it I said earlier about that? If you judge the lesson, you miss the point of it. You miss being in the flow. You miss understanding and moving beyond the limitations that you have been set in this life to overcome. So acceptance plays a very big role in the process of letting go, detachment, acceptance. They both come into play, and they are both skills that as creative beings we need to master. So when you're totally accepting, you bear no malice or enmity towards anyone or anything. Harmlessness through acceptance is a high state of being, and this is a difficult quality for humans to embrace, for it is a divine quality. Nevertheless, the angels are drawing it to your attention now. You are also asked to accept yourself. When you truly do so, you feel centered and confident, and your divine self is revealed. I accept myself and others. Next message from the angels, my darlings, is the presence of an archangel. Archangel Jophiel comes to you today. Now, Archangel Jophiel works with the golden ray, drawing wisdom from source. Ask him to illuminate you and keep you to connect with your own deep knowing. And help you connect with your own deep knowing. I don't know where the keep come from. He will also help you learn and absorb information. So if you're studying or involved in any form of education, divine assistance is available to you now. Call on Archangel Jophiel for direction and strength. So, as the angels are saying, have you asked for help with this? Well, Jophiel comes into this reading today to say, ask me for help with this. My skills can help you with this. Okay? So he can help you remove negativity and become open-minded, clear, and wise, which is being asked of you in these other messages today. The angels remind you it is time for you to wear the golden cloak of wisdom. So visualize yourself surrounded in golden light and be wise. I connect with my inner wisdom is the affirmation for that. Now, another thing that we must practice, and you will need to be, is honest. Honesty with yourself. Because practicing true honesty within the self and to understand what it is that we have to change within us is a difficult thing sometimes to come to terms with, isn't it? That we ourselves are the ones that need to make the changes, and that it's not the issues outside of ourselves that's the problem. It's actually us and how we're interpreting and dealing with it. So angel wisdom reminds you that is your every thought, word, and emotion and action that is reflected in your aura. And as I said, what you believe you perceive, the energy you vibrate is what you attract. What you put out into the universe in thought, feelings, and actions is reflected back to you. When you are honest, your aura is crystal clear. Everyone knows where they are with you and feels totally safe. The angels suggest that you look within and purify any murky thoughts and feelings. When you are totally honest with yourself, you behave with integrity and dare to be open, for there is nothing to hide. People respect and trust you. As you radiate a resonance of honesty, people respond to you with openness and honesty in their turn. I am honest in thought, word, and deed. Only 3 more to go. I'm so sorry it's taking so long, but they really want to... Oh my gosh, no way. Abundance. The angels want to talk about abundance. It is time for your life to flow with prosperity, love, and success, my darling number 3s. You draw from the limitless universal pool according to your belief in how much you deserve. Angel wisdom is reminding you now to believe in yourself and trust that you deserve more. Then you will attract abundance and the true riches of life. To feel surrounded by love, open your heart to others. Enhance your prosperity by receiving graciously, without willingly and giving out willingly and saying thank you for everything. Enjoy all you have and more will come to you. I deserve love, prosperity, and success. Now, the angels also want to bring to your attention cooperation. Angel wisdom suggests that you use your skills and talents for the common good. Eliminate power struggles, conflict, and competition, which come from ego and the desire to win. Cooperation for the highest good promotes harmony and togetherness and draws the best from everyone. Make it your aim that everyone has a sense of satisfaction from work done. Then you become a spreader of goodwill and harmony. Your angel guidance is to bring people together and explore how you can mutually assist each other. Your attitude of sharing will ensure that you benefit in your turn, for the angels will bless your endeavors. I cooperate with everyone. So it is about the flow of give and take. It's about, sharing is caring. Sharing the wealth means that you have more of it because you become abundant, because you're giving out, the universe gives back to you. So cooperating within your workspace, with your family, actually being there as a positive influence means that positively it comes back to you. And finally, communication. We all need open communication in order to have healthy, abundant relationships. So the angels remind you that being spiritual is about being genuine and honest. When you speak from the heart, others feel the resonance of truth and trust you. Talk positively, focus on the good in life, and you will feel happier and healthier. Communication is a two-way process. Listen with interest and respond openly. This will improve all relationships. Communicate consistently with Source using prayer, which is asking, and meditation, which is listening. Always keep channels of communication open. Be a bridge to others' hearts and minds. Ask your angel to step into your aura and communicate in a higher way through you. I communicate clearly and honestly. And I say, honestly, this has been a wonderful reading for you today. I hope that it has been clear in its message, and I hope that you find some messages in here that can help you on your path. I send you my love, and I thank you for being here with me today. I'm sorry this was a bit of a long message, but all the messages this week, Spirit had a lot that they wanted to convey. I will be back again soon with another Advice Would Be Nice, and we'll be covering a new topic for daily living. Until then, my darlings, my love to you all. Have a wonderful week. Bye!